we've got the all-new Ford Expedition.
I've given this a nickname, the fridge.
The fridge.
Doesn't it look like a big fridge?
It is white. Oh, it sounds good. Even if it is piped in.
I think that's piped in V8 sound. I'm okay with that. I paid all the money. I'll take a 5-liter V8 sound.
For sure.
Okay, Andrea, since we're on the topic of what's under the hood, what is under the hood of this?
There are two powertrain options. We've got the 3.5-liter Ecoboost V6 with a 10-speed automatic transmission, 400 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. In Canada, standard four-wheel drive with the train management system. In the US, two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive options are available. You can use regular fuel with this powertrain.
There's a more powerful version of this engine. It's the high output motor with 440 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. That engine is available in this Platinum version. We don't have it today. And it comes standard and Tremor. The nice thing is, with that motor, it requires premium. If you put regular gas in, it detunes to this baseline engine. So it's kind of like all the power on demand. So let's go through all the key standard features.
The base model comes standard with Ford Digital Experience and Google Automotive, a 24-inch digital driver display, 13.2-inch touchscreen, wireless, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, a 360 camera, 6-speaker audio system, heated bucket cloth seats, 10-way power driver's seat with lumbar support, 8-way power passenger seat, also with lumbar support, heated steering wheel, and Ford Copilot 360 Assist 2.0. Ford has done such a great job with the handling of this model. It's refined, it's smooth, it's comfortable. It does a good job eating up those imperfections in the road. It comes standard with 4-wheel independent suspension. And if you get the top trim King Ranch, it has a standard continuously controlled damping system.
Yeah, so you get different modes. We're going to get into subscribe in a moment, but you can change all the different settings on this. With that high-end version, it's an adaptive suspension at all times. Now, we did a little U-turn experiment. Andrea pulled up to the stop sign and then did a U-turn, and the turning radius on this, even though it doesn't have, rear steering at the back, is amazing.
I couldn't believe it. You can turn this thing on a dime. This is a big body on frame SUV, and I think that's really impressive. The 10-speed automatic transmission is very good. It's smooth and shifts quickly. The brakes feel good. Ford has done a really good job with this new model.
Because they're taking their best-selling vehicle, the Ford F-150, and then they put it back on it. Then they add in all kinds of tech. So basically that's what you're working with here, an F-150 chassis, body on frame truck, and then loading it with tech. I'm sitting over here, Andrea, looking at that funky steering wheel. Are you enjoying that new steering wheel?
Well, I was just going to say, not all is perfect. I don't like this steering wheel. I find for such a large SUV, it's awkward. I just wish it was a regular steering wheel. I know why Ford did it. They wanted to keep the visibility there with this 24-inch digital driver display, but it's really hard to turn.
So General Motors is the market leader with their trucks. Their market share is astronomical. So Ford, when they redo this vehicle, they think, how are we going to be different than General Motors? They have a traditional cabin layout with, sure, they've got the big screen, but lots of traditional buttons and functions that we're kind of used to. So Ford's gone the other way. They've given us a tech-forward steering wheel.
Yeah.
Instead of a head-up display, they've gone with one screen pushed back just under the windscreen. That's what they're doing to differentiate themselves.
Hey, if your hands are on 9 and 3 all the time, it's fine. It's just the turning that makes it a little bit awkward. Luckily, the steering is light. The turning radius is excellent. You can actually turn using one hand. I mean, we really should have 2 hands on the wheel, but it's there for you.
So the power is good, transmission works well, it's certainly smooth and comfortable. What do you think of the design? You put a post out on Instagram and people were polarized about the rear end of this vehicle?
Some people like it, some people just don't like it. They do find that the black in the back is quite polarizing. Look, you can go with a darker color. It'll camouflage it a little bit better, but we've got a white vehicle, and so that contrast, some people just don't love.
So what they've done is they've tried to mirror the front profile. So if you look at the headlamps, the grille, and the daytime running lights, it's a certain shape, right? And if you look at it at the back, they mirror that shape with this black panel. And they're also trying to highlight the fact that this is a new design, and we're going to show you that new lift gate in a moment, because it is kind of a neat party trick. So the whole business in the auto industry is to get you to aspire to have something new. That lets you know that this is the new one.
And I think overall the design of the Expedition looks good. I like it. I don't have a problem with it, but I know that that back end is bothersome to some people. This has 8.7 inches of ground clearance. The Tremor model, 10.6 inches. Comes standard with LED headlamps, LED tail lamps. You get running boards as standard equipment. The door handles are body colored. 18-inch wheels are standard, available 20, 22-inch, and 24-inch. And then mounted under the vehicle is a full-size spare tire.
So that Tremor model is all new. Ford claims it's the most capable version of this truck they've ever done. So they raise the vehicle up, give you more ground clearance. The all-terrain tires, underneath there's skid plates for things like the transfer case and the gas tank. Then they give it a monochrome look. They put LED lights in the front grille. We've seen this sort of overland trend in the auto industry. Now they have it in this model, also with the more powerful engine.
That's right, and it does have a retuned suspension, so it is a little bit different than the other models as well. There are available power folding exterior mirrors, which is wonderful when you have such a large vehicle, especially if you're parking on the street.
My problem with this steering wheel is if you want to change the tilt and telescopic, you have to hit a button on the steering wheel and then slide it over, and then you maneuver it. You kind of get used to that. What was wrong with just a little button here? Okay. Then the other thing is, if you want to change the headlamps, you have to go into the screen to do that. What was wrong with the little button here?
Totally.
And then for memory seats, for Andrea set her position, there used to be just a little button here.
Yep.
Now you got to go into the screen.
Now, one good thing about setting it, you set up a profile in the screen, is that I can have my seating position, I can put the steering wheel down, so I can set it and forget it. But it would have been easier just to have a button on the side of the steering wheel, like we're used to adjust that steering wheel up and down.
That's my whole point about this. I'm really seeing that they're trying to differentiate. Like, General Motors has such a massive market share with their body on frame trucks. They have to do something different, and this is what they've decided to do.
But they did it with the Nautilus too. Obviously a different screen setup, but it is so tech forward as well. It's going to take you some time to learn all of this stuff. These screens are standard. You've got a 13.2-inch touchscreen. You've got the 24-inch panoramic display. This has got Google Automotive, available Amazon Alexa, standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. A lot as standard equipment.
And also, this particular trim has beautiful materials. So next week, we get the Lincoln version of this. And I can't wait to see how they make it nicer than this, because this is pretty swish.
Yeah.
Beautiful leather. There's very tiny amount of piano black in the center here. Nice vinyl wrap dash. A recessed sound bar and B&O in behind, just underneath the windshield there. Beautifully done. All the brushed aluminum. It's really posh looking.
Yeah, Ford has really brought their A game with their interiors. Even the Explorer has improved greatly. Storage in here is incredible. This center console will move back 8 inches. And then there's this storage unit underneath here. I could put a purse or a whole bunch of different items that you want to hide away, even maybe an iPad. And then you move it forward again and it locks it in place. So not only can people not see the items, but they can't get to them. Now, if someone is sitting in the rear seat and you move this back, it gets too close, but you don't have to move it all the way back. Seats are so
well, you know when you stop moving it, when they go, hey, my legs.
Knees. The seats are so comfortable. I can't believe it. So much lumbar support. We always say Ford makes great seats.
This thing's super comfortable. And the steering wheel is great when you're driving straight. It actually is super comfortable. It's the turning, big maneuvers, that's when it gets a little weird.
The B&O sound system sounds fantastic. The Platinum model comes standard with a 10-speaker system, but available 22-speaker.
Other available features include ventilated front seats, driver's seat memory, multi-contour front seats with active motion, a panoramic sunroof, ambient lighting, heated second and third row seats, second row tip and slide captain's chairs, front and rear parking sensors, and 1 year of Ford connectivity package. Big truck, lots of space. Here's me getting in the second row. All trims are available with either captain's chairs or a bench seat. Well done, Ford. They slide fore and aft. They also recline. How does this stack up?
The Expedition has 43.9 inches of front row legroom and 41.1 inches of second row legroom.
Climbing into the third row, this is actually very roomy, and when you're sitting back there, your knees are not pointing up in the air. They're almost at a 90-degree angle, so making long road trips very comfortable. It also has another neat trick. In the center of the third row, the armrest folds down so you can put long items in through the cabin.
Third row legroom is 36.5 inches. The measurements for the Expedition Max are exactly the same, but you get about a foot more in length.
So the back of this Expedition is new and different and showcased by that black panel. It opens up in two separate forms. You have a lift gate and also a tailgate, a clam-shaped design, kind of like Range Rover. We did a walk-around video of this about a year ago, and Andrea describes it perfectly.
New for 2025 is the Ford split tailgate. This is the first vehicle in its class to offer this. So you've got a great sitting position in here, but it does more. It's a clever storage area. Check this out. You want a table, maybe you're out camping, maybe you're on a soccer field, you're gonna put some drinks up here. Tuck this away, and it becomes a great seating position. Cargo space behind the third row is 22.9 cubic feet. Behind the second row, 69.9 cubic feet. And overall cargo space is 108.5 cubic feet. The Max does get more cargo space than this because it is a foot longer.
Well, you do have a question about that rear cargo. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Is there a button to open both tailgates, or is that a 2-button job? It's both.
It's both. Yeah, you can, well, the traditional way to do it is to lift it with your hand. That's the top one. And then the bottom part of the clam, you hit another button. Or you can do what, Andrea?
Double click on the key fob and you can open both. And then there's a button at the top left that you can hit and it'll close both.
Yeah,
So,
the close is both.
yeah.
Now, probably there are settings there you can have it preset for one touch opens both, but we didn't dig into that.
But it's good. I mean, you can do it both ways, which is nice. Drove an Explorer ST line from Ohio to Montreal, and Blue Cruise was wonderful. If I was in the market, I would definitely tick the checkbox next to Blue Cruise. Blue Cruise is available on this model. It's not standard equipment, but you're right. Ford's Blue Cruise is fantastic, as is GM's Super Cruise.
And there was a study I read recently, and they ranked all of the, semi-autonomous systems, and they ranked Blue Cruise very highly.
Actually, I think, I don't know if it was Consumer Reports or JD Power, but one of them put it in #1 spot.
I can hear all the Tesla fanboys now. What about full self-driving, Andrea? What about it?
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, if you want to get a question in for a future episode, don't be shy. Follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea. And you also see what's going on behind the scenes, like a mini review. And for me, it's Motormouth_Auto. And the links are below the like button.
3, 2, 1, this or the Yukon Denali. What would you choose?
We've got to do 3, 2, 1. You ready?
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I hate to do this because Ford has supplied us with this car, but here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Denali.
Yep, Denali.
Okay, so for me, there's a few things. I'm really having a hard time with this steering wheel and the shape of it. This is a large vehicle. Now, the steering is super light. So what I've found, and I don't really think that this is a great idea, is that I turn with one hand because it's just easier to do. Turning radius on this is fantastic. You can turn on a dime, but I just don't know if I can get used to the steering wheel shape. And also, so much is done in the screen now.
Big for me is, okay, this has got a turbo 6-cylinder. I'll take a turbo diesel 6-cylinder in the GMC, or the General Motors trucks, I should say, because you get loads of torque, which is what you want in a body-on-frame SUV, and it gets killer fuel economy in comparison. So
now, if this was a hybrid?
Yeah, it's not available, Andrea. And now, it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
It looks nice, but only 15 miles per gallon in the city is extremely outdated. Will Ford ever make this, the Explorer, and their Lincoln Twins as hybrids?
Well, we mentioned at the beginning, this is based on the F-150. F-150 is available with a hybrid, so it's sitting on the shelf. Don't see why they couldn't do it. And Ford has made announcements around this stuff, right?
Oh, I would just love to see a hybrid for all of their models. We all know that the market is demanding hybrids right now, so it'd be nice to see.
And Ford has said by 2030, they're going to do that. So it's a wait and see on this particular model. Right now, the vital stats of Expedition.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then move on to the US. Canadian pricing includes freight, PDI, and fees. The base model starts at just over $83,500, and the top trim King Ranch is just over $109,000. In the US, we're using MSRP. The base 4x4 model starts at just over $65,000, and the top trim King Ranch is just under $84,000.
Here's the fuel economy, just 15.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city, 10.7 on the highway. That's only 15 miles per gallon in the city, 22 on the highway. It can tow up to 9,600 pounds. If you get the max, it's just 9,000 pounds. And the warranty is 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. Body on frame, full-size SUVs. Here's 4 to consider.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
First is the Nissan Armada with a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6, 425 horsepower and a starting price of almost $90,000.
The Toyota Sequoia with a 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6 with Toyota's hybrid Synergy drive, a combined 437 horsepower and a starting price of $88,000.
The Chevrolet Tahoe with a 5.3-liter V8, 355 horsepower and a starting price of $80,000.
The GMC Yukon with the same powertrain as Tahoe and a starting price of $95,000.
So there are 4 full-size body-on-frame SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we'd like to see improved.
Oh, I just love how comfortable this model is.
The power in the drive is excellent.
What I'd like to see is just a regular steering wheel.
A lot of this tech is just tech for tech's sake. I don't love that. I like my regular buttons. So what do you guys think of the fridge?
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.